Now, for more than 2 years, Lebanon has faced political uncertainty and a sluggish economy. That's partly because the country didn't have a president. Well, on Monday, Parliament elected Michel Aoun to fill the role. Oliver Whitifeld-Miocic reports.
Celebrations on the streets of Beirut as a 2-year political vacuum comes to an end. But while most people seem happy Michel Aoun is the new president, the country faces complex economic problems. Lebanon is bordered by war-torn Syria to the east and Israel to the south. Over 1 million people, or around a quarter of the population, are refugees, and hosting them is taking a heavy toll on public finances.
There can be no solution in Syria that does not guarantee or begin with the return of the displaced. As for the Palestinians, we will continue our efforts to call for the application of the right to return.
It's estimated that because of the Syrian crisis, 200,000 Lebanese people have been pushed into poverty, adding to the existing 1 million who are poor. And around 250,000 citizens are thought to now be unemployed, most of them unskilled youths. Families often depend on relatives abroad to keep them going. It's estimated that money sent by the large Lebanese diaspora accounts for almost 20% of GDP.
We wish to bring back sovereignty for Lebanon. We also want to fight corruption, which we can't fight alone. We want to live in a clean community, free of thievery and corruption.
There are widespread problems with Lebanon's struggling utilities infrastructure. The World Bank says the country's electricity sector is at the heart of a deep crisis. Daily power cuts are common because of rationing, so people pay 2 bills, one to the state supplier and another for generators when the lights go out. There are water shortages too. Low rainfall over the last 3 years and poor government management have forced people to buy water from private vendors. And there's a long-standing problem with refuse collection. An 8-month political crisis over where to store rubbish ended earlier this year.
We work 5 to 6 hours per day. We can't handle this situation anymore, especially because of the smell and the mosquitoes.
But in October, one of the temporary dumps closed its doors. With trash and public debt growing, as well as GDP slowing, the new president has got a tough job on his hands. Oliver Whitifeld-Miocic, TRT World.
Well, for more on this, we're joined by Nassib Khobril. He joins us live from Beirut. He's the chief economist at Byblos Bank there. Nassib, thank you very much for joining us on Money Talks. I just want to get down to the very basic question. Michel Aoun being elected as president, does it make any difference at all to the economy of the country?
Yeah, thank you for having me. Definitely it makes a difference. The country has been without president for 2.5 years, and that has a significant impact on consumer sentiment. The Byblos Bank Consumer Confidence Index is down 62% in the third quarter of 2016 from the peak year of 2009. GDP growth has been stagnating at 1% over the past 2 years.
But what do you put that down to?
Are hopeful that the new president...
What do you think the main reason is for those dire figures that you've just listed? Is it Syria?
No. Syria is an excuse, I think. The main reason, first of all, is that we have structural weaknesses in the economy. We have a weak infrastructure. Our competitiveness is declining according to the Global Competitiveness Index of the World Economic Forum. We rank in 101st place out of 138 place globally, and in 11th place out of 14 place in the Arab world. And we're supposed to be the oldest free market economy in the Arab world. The 3 main reasons for the decline in competitiveness in Lebanon are corruption, government instability, and the weak state of infrastructure. So definitely infrastructure is a main obstacle, as your report indicated. And one of the programs of the new president and the new administration is to upgrade the infrastructure, to reform the electricity sector, to liberalize the telecommunication sector, and to upgrade the road networks.
And do you think he's going to face a lot of challenges from the opposition?
Well, I wish we had in Lebanon a clear ruling coalition and a clear opposition, the way you see in other democracies. Ours is a consociational democracies where sometimes opposition emerges within the cabinet in order to, because the cabinet usually represents all the factions or most of the factions in Lebanon. But I hope that this time we'll have a government that has the best interest of the country at heart, and especially of the economic and social concerns of citizens. And I believe that the political consensus that led to the election of President Aoun will materialize in the decision-making and the formation of the upcoming government.
OK, we shall see. Nassib Ghobrial, thank you very much for your analysis from Beirut there. Thank you.